I studied every frickin' Hendrix solo, and I discovered a sneaky little double stop soloing trick that Jimi used over and over. Most players miss it, but once you know it, it'll give you a weapon to make your solos sound far more melodic and connected to the music. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 ways that Hendrix used the trick, why it works, and exactly how to nail it on your own guitar. Because something I see all the time with students in my intermediate coaching program is that students know the scales, maybe a few licks, but when it comes to making melodic solos that actually follow the chords, that's where they get stuck. And that's why this Hendrix shape is such a game changer. But first, let's understand how it works, because only then can you use it properly. Now, to hear how it sounds, this is a small section from Castles Made of Sand. It's after the part which says, "Neighbors start to gossip and drool." So let's understand the shape. So if you picture the E shape from the Cage system, we play the G like this, right? But here's the sneaky Hendrix trick. Instead, he plays it with these notes instead. So he's reshaped the chord. And the reason he reshapes it like this is so we can introduce this second here. So then by hammering on the second, so the third, we get a sus2 to a major chord. It's important to know that this trick only works with major chords. If you try it on a minor chord, it won't work. And why is this 2 so important? Well, it creates these unresolved sounds. It sounds like a door opening. And then when you play the third, it's like the door closing. Yeah, boy. Now with this trick today, you can get away with it without playing this note on the E string, but for the full Hendrix effect, you loop your thumb over the top of the neck. Now, if you ever took classical guitar lessons, you probably heard, "Never use your thumb on chords." But today I'm giving you permission to rip a page out of Jimi's book. Oh no. Fortunately, it's one of the songs I don't really like. To be able to pull this trick off, all you need to know is the notes on the E string.
So a quick quiz for you.
This is G. Where would B be? If you said up here on the 7th fret, you're correct. Here's where it gets interesting. Jimi didn't just use this when he was playing along to the chords during a verse. In one of his most beautiful solos, he used it to outline the chord progression. Jimi loved this shape. In Wind Cries Mary, in the first part of the solo is in F major, so he uses this exact movement. Now what's going on in the first part of the solo is a little bit more complicated, but today we're going to focus on the second half of the solo. In the second half of the solo, Hendrix just uses one of his go-to tricks. He knows he's playing over a G, so he finds a G here. An instant connection to the chords. Each note locks in because he's literally playing over the chord tones. And once again, all you need to know is the notes on the E string to make this work. Later, I'll show you exactly how to start incorporating this yourself in your own solos. But if you thought that last solo sounded melodic, wait till you hear what he does in the most beautiful solo ever, his Little Wing.
The solo is almost all single note melody lines, but right at the end, he uses his double stop chord trick.
So sometimes you can have both. But let's hear the final part of the solo. Now here's a problem that most players face. They either have single lines, single note playing, or chord-based stuff. But you can link them up together, as Jimi proved in this solo. At the end of the solo is a C chord, and then a D chord. So he finds a C, which is here. C is the 8th fret. Moves it up to the D. And an instant chord connection right at the end. It's beautiful, memorable, and simple. He's weaving those chords into the melody. Single notes for the theme, chord tones for that harmonious part at the end. Best of both worlds. So how do you do this yourself? Let's say we have a chord progression, which is E minor, C, G, and then D. Those last chords are all major chords. For the first part, you could just use an E minor pentatonic kind of lick. And then for the major chords, you could connect it with this shape. The G, and finally the D. So you can start using this shape today.
There's a link below to my one-to-one coaching program.
And if you want to know the exact formula that Jimi used to create one of the most beautiful melodic solos of all time, I'd watch this video next. Bye.